How to work from home and still impress your boss. Hi guys, it's JT here, and I want to tackle a challenging topic which actually is so evident right now. With all that's going on in the world, pretty much everybody who can in most office-based working is working from home. So your boss, they can't see you, they can't hear you. Does that mean your career is now in jeopardy? Does that mean you're going to face bigger challenges, which you are, to impress your boss and have them notice you? Right? This is different. We're now moving into a different era. We're kind of shifting. I wrote a blog about this recently, how we are now, most industries are shifting from this office-based working culture where it's your location is your work, to a task-based working culture where it doesn't matter where you are because you're at home now. You've been forced to be at home. The government has told you to be at home. Now you're now task-based because you're working from home. You could be working in the park. It doesn't really matter as long as you're getting the job done. But how do you still impress your boss? If they can't see you and they can't hear you, how do you show them that you're still the right person, and so that you can climb the ladder in your career? And now this is a challenge. So I want to share with you 3 ways on how you can do this. Right? So if you're a manager, I want you to imagine this. You're in your boss's position. You're in your line manager's position. Right? It's now more difficult for them to understand what you're doing, where you are, and whether you're delivering results. When you was in the office, right, it could be a quick conversation, they can see you, they see the result happening physically, right? They may be kept in the loop of all the updates. It was a bit easier. But now we're transitioning to this, from this location-based culture to a task-based culture. Right, it's a little bit more difficult. So if you looked at it from your manager's perspective or your boss's perspective, there's a far greater deal of trust involved now. So if you was in that position, what would you expect from your employees? Think about it that way, and that's a very powerful question. If you was to sit down for a minute and think, okay, if I was in my boss's shoes and my employees, and you might be a line manager and have some employees, and you might be thinking now, okay, so if I'm in that position, what would I expect my employees to do? That's one way, that's one question that you can ask yourself before we get onto the steps. That's one powerful question that you can ask yourself. Right, now what are the steps? Right, so step 1, accountability. Accountability through your targets. Right? You're now responsible. Your boss isn't over your shoulder. They can't see you physically working. Right? So this is where the trust element comes into it. And if you're accountable for meeting your targets, right, and setting your own targets. So if you start at the beginning of the week and say, okay, so I'm going to do this, this, and this week, and I'm going to make sure it's done. I'm not just going to lounge around and play Xbox or watch TV, Netflix, chill out, go for a walk, go shopping, anything like that, and I'm gonna get it done, right? Your boss can now see that you are still hitting your targets. You're still guaranteeing results no matter where you're based. This starts to build trust, right? The second step, this is checking in, remaining social, so having that social interaction. Now this isn't, if you've read my book Managers Are Not Leaders, which is available on Amazon, by the way, one key element of this is communication, and part of the communication model that I discuss is checking in. Now this isn't constant phone calls saying I'm doing this now, I'm doing this now. No, that's not what it is. It's a quick catch up. So it could be a 2-minute video call, right? We're in a different area. We now need to utilize technology. So it could be a 2-minute video call. Hey, how's it going? I just had a question on this. But rather than dropping an email, make it a video call, make it a phone call. Keep the social interaction alive. So that way it could be 2 o'clock in the afternoon, you drop them a call, they know you're working towards results of the company and not basically just tossing it off at home, right? And again, this goes a long way to building trust. The third step is looking forward, right? So you're going to be at home now and you're going to find you have a lot more time. If you're like me, you work in a large office, and if you're a key person, you will find that a lot of people when you're in the office will come and speak to you, ask you questions. They just want to have a chat because they want to reinforce their ideas off you and bounce ideas off you because they see you as a key person. Now, this isn't going to be happening. You might get a few more emails, you might get a few more chat conversations, but you also find you have more time because you're now not commuting. You might not be popping out to go grab lunch. You probably just go downstairs, you'll have some lunch in the kitchen, you might go out for a run or a coffee break, but you'll find you have a lot more time because you're not commuting anywhere. Now, what can you do with this time? So you can say for example, you started your working day at 8 a.m. and you normally finish around 3-4 o'clock. You do your stuff, you're like, okay, cool, I'm pretty much done for the day, I'm heading home. Now, without these distractions, you could find you have an extra hour and a half throughout the day. What can you do? And this is where I say you should look forward. This is an opportunity to take initiative and maybe contact your boss. Maybe, again, video call. Hey, look, I find I've got a bit more extra time now. I'm focused on this, not a problem, but I want to look forward to the next 2 to 3 weeks. What's coming up? What can I help with? This shows initiative, and it shows that your boss that you're really keen and that you're still the go-to person. This again goes back to building trust. Working from home is all about trust with your boss. And when they can trust you, they see results, they see you're constantly active, checking in, and that you're taking the initiative, right? With those 3 things, you will definitely impress your boss. Right, if you've enjoyed that video, you've taken value from that video, I would love it actually if you could hit the like button or hit the subscribe button, because it really helps me continue to share this information. You can see there my support me, anything, my podcast, my book, anything you're interested in. If you go and have a look, it really helps me continue to share the message. Thank you very much for listening. This is JT signing out.